Hey lovely souls, welcome to Carolyn, where I teach you practical magic to help you make your day a little bit more magical. I have another collective reading for you today. If you're new to the channel, I want to say welcome. Please subscribe. I would love to have you a part of this family. I post new videos every single week and I post shorts daily, so make sure you turn on the bell notifications so you don't miss out when I post my next video. The main focus of this collective reading is you and your ability to rise above the current situation. So if that's something you want guidance on, definitely stay tuned. If not, I have other videos on my channel that you could watch instead. Really listen to your intuition and what's resonating for you. If this reading does resonate for you, let me know in the comments down below, and also give this video a big thumbs up and share with others. If you would like to purchase your own reading, I do sell them. The link to my Etsy shop is going to be in the description box down below. So I'm going to start with the Hierophant card. It feels like you have a false belief when it comes to authority in your life and feeling like you don't have any power over the authority of your life. And I'm not talking about like your own control in your life and your actions. I feel like that you're very grounded with, you know what you can do, you know what you can't do. But I mean, with actual authority figures in your life or structures in your life, I feel like sometimes you question it and you don't always agree with it, but you don't know how to break from the mode. You don't know how to stand up for your own beliefs and break free and go your own way, go your own path. It feels like there's certain structures that have been set in place for you that you don't agree with, but that you don't break. And I think a lot of that comes down from the fact that you don't feel like you have a right to question it or think differently or feel powerful in your act of rebellion is how you see it. And this is Spirit's reminder to you that while you hold that belief that you can't do anything or that it's not your place, you hold more power than you think because you're not an imposter. I think you struggle with imposter syndrome and you feel like, well, I'm not in the right to do it. It's not my place. And it is your place, because if you look at the card here, the baby is holding the key. And I feel like that's Spirit's message for you. You are the one who has grown up with this system. You are the one who's grown up with this authority figure. You are the one who has learned it and understood it and not fell into it mindlessly. And so because you're not mindless, because you're aware, you're able to call it out and you're able to hold the key to answers. Like, you have a lot of questions, you get to find your answers and you get to see if the moment you ask a question, if it crumbles, if it falls apart, if it's stable, if it's not. I feel like you are so afraid to be seen differently from the people in your life that you just conform and you try your best to fit in. But Spirit's making it clear, like, this is a false belief of yours. It's something that feels very real to you, but your reasoning behind it is flawed. And I feel like you know that, and you've just been afraid to admit it. You've been afraid to speak the truth with it. And I think a big theme throughout this reading is that you dim your light or make yourself smaller because you don't see how much you can get and what the path forward is to getting it. And so because you feel like things are difficult for you or you don't know how to get out of them, you don't believe that you can. And therefore, it creates this energy of stagnancy in your life because you have this power, you have this potential, you have so much inner resilience and strength, but you're afraid to push forward. You're afraid to break through to that next room and break free your limitations. It really feels like for you, the sky's the limit with the Knight of Cups card, but you aren't believing it because you're not seeing it yet. And so it feels like that truth exists for you. You have opportunities that are coming your way, but you're not seeing them because you're not believing that they could. And it feels like you're in this Four of Cups energy where you think being in limbo, waiting for things, not having anything happen in front of you means that nothing is happening. It means that nothing is working in your favor. And this is Spirit's message to you that couldn't be further from the truth. It feels like right now you're in a state where you are not believing in yourself. You're not believing in your goals. You're not pushing yourself to go for what you want. You're not breaking free of this Hierophant energy because you feel like there's no point. And this is Spirit's message to you to break out of that. With the Knight of Pentacles, you have this mindset that you missed your chance, you missed your opportunity, and that you can't get what you want because you passed it up. It's not here anymore. And therefore, you're a failure. Therefore, you're never going to get anything good in life ever again. And that is not true. That is your fears. But your fears feel very real and they make you afraid to take risk because you're afraid of looking dumb. And it feels like with this Hierophant energy, it feels like there's someone important to you who has an authority over your life, and you're so afraid to do wrong by them. You're so afraid to not live up to their expectations. Some of you, this is going to be a parental figure in your life, but others, it's just this person who you admire, but they also scare you. It's like you love them, but you don't agree with them, but yet you still want their approval. And that's where there's this big disconnect in your life, because if this person wasn't who they were to you, like if you didn't have your previous memories and past intertwined with them, you would not care about their opinion at all. But because this person was raised in a way that was important to you, they were someone that you were supposed to respect, they were someone that you were supposed to admire, they were someone who you wanted to get approval of, that has never left you. And so now, even as an adult, you're still chasing the approval of someone, and it's forcing you to have to live your life for them and live your life in a way that's not feeling positive for you or feeling authentic to yourself, because you're still chasing their validation. And it feels like some of you could have had a falling out with them or some sort of issue where they said something to you that really hurt you, and it basically was along the lines of that you're not living up to their expectations, or you did something and they were really harsh on you for doing it. And so that's where that fear was triggered, and now you're in this mindset where you can't mess up like that again. Like, you're a failure in this person's eyes, therefore you are a failure. And that's not true, and Spirit's giving you this message to say that is not true. You have an unhealthy codependent relationship with this person, and that's because it's one-sided. You're the only one who can do anything wrong. Sometimes you do good, but most of the time you do bad. But they can only do good. They're the example, they're the role model. And so you are in a dynamic with them in which you can rarely win. And when you do win, it's because it's on their terms. And so you're losing yourself in this dynamic. And Spirit wants this to be brought to your attention so that you can be aware that while you might be feeling these things and you might believe them, that doesn't make them true. And this person has limited what you feel you can and cannot do. They've limited your confidence. They've limited your life. And it feels like this is happening without you even realizing that it is going on. And it's not that you're not smart. You are very smart. You just have a blind spot when it comes to this person. And because you're so close to this relationship, you haven't seen that it's not healthy. It's like you've been too close to it. And this message is acting as your lens to zoom out and say, wait, that's not normal. Again, going back to the fact that if you did not have your past intertwined with this person, you would not care about their opinion. This is not someone who you really get along with. This is not someone who you really even like, but you have this unconscious need to please them. And it feels like you have desires to do more with your life, and you have desires to ask questions and be a bit rebellious. Some of you, you want to live your life in unconventional ways, and this person's very rigid, very traditional, and so they don't agree with that, and so they've mocked you. They made you feel wrong for the ways that you want to live or the things that you want to do, the things that spark joy or bring you passion in life. It's like you've gone to them before with things that you were really excited about, things that you were really passionate about, and they shot you down, and they made you feel bad for expressing yourself and being authentic and not fitting with the conventional style of things. And that made you feel like you couldn't do that, or that that was bad for you to enjoy that. And so you stopped it, you put it away. It's like you compartmentalized it. But right now you're not happy, because with this Page of Wands energy, that is still within you to go for it, and it's still within you to be passionate about it. It still sparks joy for you. So now you're denying yourself the things that spark joy, and then you're looking around your life like, why aren't I happy? I'm doing everything that this person says I should do. I'm gaining their approval. Like, what's wrong? And that's where you're getting this message, because you cannot please them and be happy at the same time. The two paths cannot coexist. You're at an impasse of your life right now, and you need to determine for yourself what is the path that you're going to live. Like, you can stay in your current state and feel the way that you're feeling and not be happy, but still live like that. Or you can choose a path that is going to be more difficult, because there's a lot of healing that's going to have to occur. You're going to have to release this person, release their notions, heal these false beliefs that you have, but then you're going to be happy. And so both paths are difficult in their own way. It's up to you which path you choose, because I can't force you, spirit can't force you. All that spirit can do is encourage you. You're the one who has to make the choice. And what I want to bring up for you, because I think a lot of you doubt your inner power, you have the Three of Wands and the Strength card. These cards represent who you are. And this is such a powerful energy for you, and you are so powerful because you have the Three of Wands, which in this deck talks about the duality between opposing forces. And in this card specifically, it's the duality of water and fire. On the surface would seem like they're very contradictory, but ultimately they both represent emotions, especially if we're looking at them through the lens of tarot. The cups for water in tarot tends to represent love, empathy, compassion, versus fire in tarot tends to represent passion and impulsivity and intense feelings. But they're still feelings nonetheless. They both represent the emotions of humans. And so you can have passion and love coexist together. They oftentimes do. And so just because things don't seem like they would go together doesn't mean that they don't. And so when it comes to you, just because you feel like people won't like you or accept you doesn't mean that they will. Not everyone is going to be like this other person in your life. Not everyone is going to judge you in the same way. Not everyone has the same rigid structure that you've grown up with. I think sometimes when you're surrounded by people who all share similar thought processes, you feel like an outcast because you feel like no one else is going to understand you. But I feel like there are people who will understand you and who will embrace who you are, because it doesn't even feel like you're really all that crazy. It feels like this person is very rigid with what is success versus what is failure. And so a lot of your failures other people would look at and see the positive, see the win, see the success in it. But because this person is very cold, it feels like they're not seeing it, they're not embracing it. And that's why you're getting burnt out, because you are doing so much and you have so much to give and you keep like running after them like a dog trying to like just make their owner happy. But at the end of the day, if this person's choosing to be miserable, it doesn't matter what you do. They're still going to be miserable. The dog can't make their owner happy if their owner is upset. And it feels like sometimes this person in your life has just been upset and made you feel like you're a failure because you weren't able to fix that. Because this person lacks reflection. It feels like you are very reflective and you're mindful of things in your life. It feels like you are very smart, and it feels like you know the right terms for things. It feels like you've researched a lot. That's where this inner drive to ask questions stems from. But it feels like when you would ask questions with this person, you would get shot down. So you learn to stop. And it also feels like you're so close to the situation, you just can't see it for what it is. Like you have seen examples of this dynamic, but you've never heard it reflected back to you where you understand it and that your mindset can actually change with it. Again, it's like you're too close to it. You just can't see. And it feels like, things haven't been perfect. Like you're not deluding yourself into anything, but it's just been difficult for you to admit the truth because it's painful and it's going to require a lot of healing. But it feels like you're ready for it now because you have the Strength card. And the Strength card also represents who you are. You embody the energy of the Strength card. So you could be a Leo, or you could have major Leo placements or fifth house placements. If not, the energy of strength is the ability to have courage, the ability to face this demon in the card and face the lies and the manipulation that the devil is trying to sell, and not waver from your stance, not to waver from who you are. And I feel like that's what Spirit's preparing you for right now. It feels like it's time for you to stand up for yourself and get the answers that you seek, even if the answer is that there is no answer. It's like you shouldn't be afraid to ask them. You shouldn't be afraid to be curious. You shouldn't be afraid to want to learn, want to grow, want to become a better version of yourself than you're currently at. And it feels like this person wants to keep you stifled, wants to keep you beneath them because they don't want you to get more than they have, because then they are a failure. Again, it's an unhealthy relationship where they succeed and you fail. Sometimes you succeed, but only if it's less than them. And it's because they know that you can succeed more than them. It's not because you were born innately better than them. It's because you choose to be better than them. It's because you choose to learn, because you choose to grow, because you choose to educate yourself and find out information. You seek out answers. This person seeks out others to destroy. This person seeks out other people to belittle. This person seeks out other people to put down. So they're choosing to only succeed by harming others. That's not what you want to do. But that's why you've been feeling so unsatisfied with your life and so unhappy and stuck and in the state of limbo. And it's because that's where this person has put you and you haven't dared broken out of it yet. This is Spirit's message to say it's time. It's time for you to break out. If that is what you choose to do, now is the time to do so. Now is the time to put an end to this behavior. Now is the time to cut this person out of your life if you're able to. So I want to flip this card over real quick. So this is the vice versa tarot. So there's double sides to each of these cards. And if we look at the other side of this card, it is the person with the 9 of Cups. So this typically represents like the traditional tarot sense of the person sitting with everything that they have gotten. All their wishes have been granted. And so when we flip it over and see what you got for your message today, this represents almost Spirit coming in and bringing these blessings into your life. I feel like a lot of you have grown frustrated with your manifestations because they have not worked out, because you have not gotten what you wanted. Again, you're in the state of limbo where you feel like you're waiting for everything to work out and you keep feeling like you fail and you don't succeed. The thing is, it's not that you're not successful. It's that you cannot succeed when you've been set up to fail. So right now, yes, things haven't come in because you're putting your energy into the things that you don't actually want, or you're putting your energy into things, but you have the wrong plan. It's like you were set up to fail. When it comes to what you're actually passionate about and changing your life for the direction that you want to go in next, you can manifest because you're going to be working in a way that's more in alignment with yourself, which means you're going to research it thoroughly. You're going to know what's going to lead to success versus what's going to lead to failure. Like, you're going to be prepared for that, but also you're not going to be in a state of limbo anymore. Right now, you feel like you have to wait for everything. And if it doesn't come in, then it's not meant to be. You can go out and you can get it. With the Strength card, this also means that you're not going to have fears holding you back, that you can't go for what you want. There's always a solution to everything. And sometimes the solution isn't what we want. There's fear surrounding it, but that doesn't mean that we can't overcome it. And I feel like that's something that you need to know, is that this person hasn't taught you what all the options are because they want you to fail. It makes them feel better about themselves. So of course you're going to instill those fears in you. Of course they're going to instill those limiting beliefs in you that there is no path forward, that there's no way to overcome this. But there is. You just need to meet the right people or learn the right stuff that doesn't limit you, that doesn't keep you held back from getting what you want. This person really embodies the energy of the devil themselves, where they're keeping you trapped, like they're putting the chains around you. But you haven't even seen what the chains are because it's been going on for so long. It's become subconscious, it's subliminal. So that's why Spirit's giving you this message today, because in order to break free of this, it's going to take a lot of work. You're going to have to be extremely mindful of the programming that they've done to you so that you can learn what it is and rewire your brain. Not allow that to be your default anymore. And it's going to take a lot of time and a lot of energy, and it's going to be something that's not super easy, because when you're changing everything that you thought you once knew, that's going to be a lot for you to absorb and understand. But it also is going to stir up memories of the past of this person, and it feels like you did care about them. It feels like they were super important to you, and it was integral to your life and making you who you are today. So just because you are moving on from it doesn't mean that it never impacted you in any way, even if it wasn't always positive. It was still something that you thought was secure, something that you thought was stable. And now you're realizing that it wasn't, and that it was kind of built as a house of cards, and now it's all coming knocking down. It's going to be overwhelming. So while you go through this process of stepping into your power, of living your life how you want, and perhaps releasing this person, know that it's something that you can only do at your own speed when you're ready and on your own timeline. And so don't let anyone rush you or feel like you have to rush yourself through this process, because it really is going to be individual for all of you. And Spirit's just asking for you to begin that journey. So that's what your message from the universe and Spirit is today. It's time for you to become aware, decide for yourself what you're going to do, but know that you don't have to let this person hold you back anymore, and know that you're not a failure. You just haven't been allowed to succeed before. And now there's more possibilities that are opened for you. I want to thank you so much for watching this. If you enjoyed it, let me know in the comments down below. Also give this video a big thumbs up and share with others who need to hear this message. If you're not already subscribed, please do so. I would love to have you a part of this family. And make sure you turn on that bell notification so you never miss when I post my next video. If you would like to purchase a reading, the link to my Etsy shop is going to be in the description box down below. I can't wait to see all you lovely souls at my next video. And until then, I hope you have a very happy, cozy season. Bye!